This video is going to be talking about the Observation Zinc Turkesterone. I've been using this product for about 22 days now and have seen certain results, but what I'll be walking through is what my fitness routine was during this time, roughly the high-level nutrition, and then we'll go week by week to see if we can identify or ascertain if there are any results, whether or not those were related to a possible placebo effect, and ultimately how I've looked during that time frame. The product I used is called Turk Builder. I purchased it with my own money, but I wanted to try it out, see if it had any impact. As being an individual in my mid to late 30s, sometimes a little bit of help goes a long way. Since starting the cycle, I did not change any fundamentals of working out or my cardio routines in any major way. I didn't ramp up volumes. I still worked out for about 40 minutes a day for 3 days a week. I did some varying cardio exercises. Generally, I would run a lot. I've cut back on the running. I've done a mix of running, stationary bike, and some shadow boxing as well for 3 days. And then I have one rest day, which is Sundays. Diet, I document what I eat. I eat around 2,500 calories a day with an average of 150 to 200 grams of protein a day. And that can vary up and down, but the expectation is that I'll eat close to my body weight. With the controls in place, I started the first day at around 192.4 pounds. So you're looking at a healthy dad bod here. So the scale says roughly 21% body fat. It could be a little more, but that's what we're starting with here. The pictures are going to be consistent. I'm going to ensure that if I didn't have a pump in this picture, I'm not going to have a pump in the next picture. A lot of advertisements tend to deceive you by having the most unflattering, poorly posed picture as your before picture, and then the guy is pumped. And so what I try to do here is pose exactly the same way at this and the same level of pump in order to show whether or not there's actual progress being made, as opposed to trying to deceive you by making the appearance of progress. So if there's no progress, you're going to see that in fact there's no progress in terms of body composition when we move on to the next week. So we hit day 8 here. So what I did notice, at least initially, is I did lose about a pound or two. I noticed right away that my recovery between my lifting days, I felt rested and recovered by the time the next set of exercise rolled around. So generally, the infamous leg days, you're still feeling it on Friday if you did it on Monday. So what I noticed right away is I didn't necessarily have that same type of soreness. I felt it and it was there, but it seemed to be better. Also, I was able to start ramping up squats and deadlifts on top of that. So not only did I feel less soreness on leg days, I also felt like I could ramp up some additional weight. No improvement to bench, surprisingly. I felt absolutely no improvement. I couldn't squeeze out another rep. I was still effectively at a plateau that did not improve, and the Turk did not help in that arena either. But I did get some strength in my back. I was able to do a couple extra pull-ups on my first set and do a few more overall between the 3 sets that I do when I do pull-ups. So now we're coming into day 15. So again, we're holding around 191, but this has honestly fluctuated substantially. So on average, I would say that I was still between 191 and 192. It seems like I've been holding there pretty steadily. Again, still felt good in the back muscles. I definitely felt like there was some improvement there. Less delayed onset muscle soreness overall throughout that period of time. I was able to continue to increase my squat weight, and I was able to squeeze out one additional rep on my 3rd set on the bench where I'm at my max weight where I have no reps in reserve. So I was definitely happy to see that I could squeeze out another rep and continue to see that improvement. Also, my deadlift improved by about 20 pounds. So when I do deadlifts, I do sets of 10, but I was able to finally ramp that up. But that last set still, I did not do a complete set. I had no reps in reserve, so I was only able to do about 3 once I ramped up that additional 20 pounds, with the expectation that I should be able to do at least 4 or more. Generally, my weak point on deadlifts is actually my grip. I do proper form, I don't do sumo, and I don't alternate the hand grip. I definitely could add a lot more weight if I did it that way, but mine is just the standard form deadlift, have my hands face the same way with the expectation that I want my hands and forearm strength to improve, as well as challenging my my legs and back as well. So we're looking at day 22 here. As of today, close to about 192 pounds. My weight and body fat, same, don't see any major change to my fat levels, but I do see the V taper, so carrying it a little bit differently. So I will say that if I did gain any muscle anywhere, potentially maybe in the back and delt area, not really any substantial improvement anywhere else for at least any mass or bulk being put on. But I definitely will say that the improvement to the V taper there does indicate that there was some improvement. Whether or not that can be tied to the Turk, that's still too early to tell. And again, there's still about 5 weeks left on this cycle. So as I continue to get document my results here, I'll definitely share that with the group. So the expectation is maybe around week 6, I'll share another update with you and kind of show you and take you all the way through. And we'll jump from week 1 and week 6 and just kind of see, looking at a more dramatic period of time, if we can say that without any doubt we saw some results from the turkesterone and improvement, and then at least we can go through the numbers as well. So even if it's not necessarily physically showing, we can at least show how that progressed from a strength perspective. At day 22, results have been marginal at best. So as a natty user in his mid to late 30s, it's hard to say whether the Turk has provided any benefit so far. We'll continue to document it. We'll send updates at around week 6, week 8, post-cycle, and we'll take a look at the data together and make a conclusion. Until next time, leave a comment or suggestion.